Hello, my friends of ghouls and goblins in chat. Guess what? It's spoopy season. All the spoopies, all the time. You know what? And you know how we're gonna enjoy that spoopy season? I know Isabella is gonna be like, oh, this is the one time no one judges me throughout the year for my life choices and all that kind of stuff. And then Emma, what kind of costumes do you have? Or just in general, what have you in store for us this week?
I'm just spending the whole season in Animal Crossing. I'm putting all my effort, my holiday effort into there. Yeah, it's been years since I've done like actual in-person Halloween stuff. What's the Halloween Grinch? There needs to be a Halloween Grinch movie. And whatever that is.
There is a Halloween Grinch. It's called, his name is Michael Myers. Once a year. And he really goes
Halloween. No, I love Halloween. Halloween's great. I just get kind of lazy. I used to make like big elaborate cosplay costumes, but I haven't done that in a while. Maybe this year, we'll see. But in other news, one thing that I am excited about this week that I've been excited about is AfroCon, which is a cool digital convention that's happening this weekend. Definitely recommend that everyone checks it out. It's a community building event that includes curated conversations and issues and themes that impact Black lives and Black futures. And a lot of people from our tabletop industry and tabletop family are going to be at this convention, including Mick and Starla from Our Family Plays Games, Marcus Ross, Eric Slauson, and more. Lots of awesome tabletop people there and Black people from the bigger nerd community as well. So definitely check that out if you want some fun stuff to do this weekend.
No one invited me.
There. Go yell at them.
Go yell at them. You say, I need an invitation. Give me free pass to this.
Oh yeah, if anyone from AfroCon is watching this, invite Isabella.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah, and then plus no one can say that, oh, what do you mean? They don't exist. There are nerds from every culture here and every race and every ethnicity. So hey, look at there's a whole con to even show it into your faces.
But Isabella is doing some exciting stuff.
Yeah, she is. Isabella, you want to tell us, just how much of we're so lucky to talk to her now because soon she's just going to be too big for us. We're what is it, plebs compared to the fabulous, the awesome. It's an alien.
All right. First of all, I would like to go to AfroCon because I'm Black and I want to go. Damn it. Today, as part of my day job, I work for the Langston, I work for Langston, which is a arts nonprofit here in the Pacific Northwest. We focus on Black arts, movies, music, performance, theater, dance, all the great stuff. And tonight, as part of our Fade to Black programming, which is our monthly film programming, I will be talking to Keith Mother Flippin' David. Okay, that's right. Goliath, aka Spawn, aka I Have Friends on the Other Side, aka that creepy cat from Coraline. Okay, like I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I couldn't go to sleep last night. I thought it was gonna leak from all of my orifices, and I don't know what to do. Today I'm kind of scared. I have my questions, and I'm gonna ask him maybe to sing "Friends on the Other Side" with me. And I don't know. I'm losing my mind. So that happens tonight on Langston's Facebook page. We're doing it Facebook Live. You don't have to contribute any money, but if you're a good person with a kind heart, maybe you should to think about donating to keep Black arts alive and well. But that's for free. Facebook Live, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. Watch me have the underarm sweats while talking to Keith David.
Yes, we would like it. But yes, you need to go ahead. I know you're always embarrassed to do this, but you need to give us the link so we can put it in chat because you say these things. You don't give us any links.
I never give links because I'm always like, find it if you can.
I got it.
You got it. But yes, tune in for that tonight. There is just a lot of exciting things happening tonight. I think for me, the biggest thing I've been doing is slowly cleaning my house because my littlest sister, or oldest little sister, if you understand, because I am the oldest, but I have other siblings below me, but I also have more than one sister. So yes, but also she is the shortest of us all. So it's a combination of a lot of things. She probably hates me that I mentioned that. But yeah, she's going to be flying in over this weekend. She finally finished her master's degree and is just kind of traveling around. So, hey, she's like the first in my generation that has a master's, you know?
That's super
and
exciting.
That's pretty good. I was like, bachelor's, peace out. And stuff. But yeah, and then also tonight I'm gonna be playing Hyper Life Drifter on Nomedic's channel later on, like an hour after this show. We're gonna be doing Hyper Life Drifter. If you're a fan of the game, a lot of apocalyptic wasteland and fluffy animal creatures, so that's always fun. You want to know what's even more fun that's coming like at the end of October? Hey, you know what? Y'all notice that like during like maybe the past 2 years, a lot of people haven't been physically going out and playing board games or anything like that. Well, Steam noticed that and they decided to go ahead and do a digital tabletop fest. And voila, they're actually announcing that they're going to be doing it again this year because they had such a success last year. If you guys don't know, Steam Digital Tabletop Fest is basically like Steam has a lot of digital versions of all the various different tabletops, especially if you want to learn how to kind of play some of the games without actually having a physical copy of the game, like Tabletop Simulator and like Wingspan all have their own like versions digitally online. So you can go ahead and grab those. There's not really a lot of details of what is going to be happening. And so we will fill you in as the event gets closer. Just look out. It's going to be supposedly at the last half of the month of October. So, hey, it's time for spooky seasons and other things.
Yeah, we talked about the digital before. Like there's a lot of cool stuff available. If you have the physical game, you can play it online. Looks like they're doing RPG stuff, and they also do a lot of tabletop adjacent things. So like Divinity Original Sin, which isn't a board game, but it has a lot of turn-based board game elements.
Yes, so go ahead and hunt, and they'll probably be offering deals too. So hey,
many deals,
especially if you're like, oh, I have lack of money. But speaking of this, I know a lot of people are itching to get back and unplug from the computer. Did you know about anything about that, Emma? What are people unplugging from and then getting to experience in IRL?
Board games. We just talked about digital board games and people being excited to buy and play digital board games, but you can also play physical in-person board games, specifically at PAX Unplugged, which is happening this year for sure. And they specifically just made a full vaccination and mask mandatory for the convention. This is going to be, I believe it's going to be in mid-December. And they are confirming that people will need to have proof of vaccination, which is the same thing that they did for PAX West that was here in Seattle. It's definitely something that I appreciate. I think that it will make a lot of people more comfortable to be able to go to these conventions because it is a lot of in-person time surrounded by a lot of people. So it's good that they're going to have this and make things nice and safe for PAX Unplugged.
Yeah, no, I think that's as we go on, and they approve vaccines for like lower and lower age limits. We hope that more people get vaccinated. It's all something that we got to work together to comfort. And you know what? Also, fun note: malaria. They got it approved as a vaccine. So I don't know. It's totally not a point in this, but I kind of wanted to celebrate.
This is like one of the biggest like medical accomplishments. Somebody compared it to it's bigger than landing on the moon, which we all know is fake. No, let me not do that. But it's big news. It's like it's going to help save the lives of, I mean, like countless children. And so get your malaria vaccine, and also get your regular vaccine. And also, if you're eligible, get a booster. And if you know somebody who is eligible for a booster, but they can't get a booster, maybe get them a car, maybe drive them, and maybe do like a little, booster shuttle where you just help people go and get their boosters. I've been hounding my elders, aka my mom, shout out mom, you're old, to go get her booster shot. She's old, she knows it. And so I think that this is really like, as we start to phase in to like this new kind of thing where we are trying to go back fully to conventions, it's what we've seen is that we do need hard rules. Like, if you want to come back to conventions, you need to follow the rules, like, exactly. And even though, the good news is that we've had like a slowdown of different strains of COVID, which is fantastic. I think that maybe, it's still really imperative that we keep that going, that maybe we're going to be in this for probably the next year or so, where it's still like, we're still in it. I know that it feels like COVID is kind of behind us now because it's not the most pressing thing on the news. But we're still in COVID. Like, it's still a pandemic. What's below a pandemic? Epidemic?
Epidemic, I think.
Yeah.
But there's also cause that, what is the step above it? It's an endemic, right? We don't want it to be an endemic, even though people are like, it's getting close there.
We want to go back to it being an epidemic. Yes, endemic, pandemic, epidemic. And so, I think that this is really interesting. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in December? This whole Pax Unplugged thing, which is happening mid-December, it's right around the holidays. That kind of makes me a little bit more nervous because there's a lot of travel that happens around the holidays. I personally will not be traveling during the holidays. But I think that really taking all of this stuff really seriously, and also not giving people a hard time. They have some what they're calling safety ambassadors who will be enforcing all of these things. These safety ambassadors, you guys, they're probably just going to be like regular fans. Do not give them a hard time. Do not harass them. They're trying to do what's right so that we can all have a good time, so that we can all be safe. Like, none of your pandemic nonsense at the con. Like, really, you spend all that money, you buy a hotel, you get passes, you're gonna go, you take time off of work just to harass another nerd who's trying to help you. Don't do that. I'm just saying. I haven't heard of major things happening, but if you do it, I'm gonna find you.
Yeah. And we've seen like at Gen Con that we can come together and really make these things work. The masks at Gen Con, as we talked about, people were really great about that. And the staff was working really hard, really overtime to enforce it. I saw people were chipping in too, just people working at booths, just like all working together to help protect us and make us safe. And this is life now, kind of like get with the program. Seattle is doing vaccine mandates. We're just like, yeah, this is what we're doing. So, you can do mask up and get vaccinated and participate in life, in normal life, or not. Like, I guess that's your choice.
Yeah. Freedom of choice is not freedom from repercussions. We all just don't want like surprises to come out of nowhere, but sometimes we do like surprises that come out of nowhere. Speaking with our big surprises.
You're on a roll, Bonsai.
Look at me, segue queen. Oh, sorry, never mind. I just messed it up. But yeah, WotC just released the 156 page surprise source book. In like basically total surprise on the DMs Guild, a new book called Minsc and Boo's Journal of Villainy is not so much of a rule book that a lot of typically when like WotC releases stuff, they have like, oh, here's all the rules, here's all the stats and everything. This is more like how I would say, going back to the old school gazetteers kind of books where you just get a area that they're going to be these like certain pivotal characters. In this case, Minsc and Boo, giant space hamster, is going to be exploring around and giving their POVs of what this town and city is like, along with, or sorry, so if you want to know, the book is heavily featured on a lot of course, fan favorites of Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights, including Minsc, Boo, Iman, oh god, I'm so bad at these names, Jahara, and Abrith. It's gonna be like basically their point of view of what this city, this landscape is like, and it just gives more of a living feel to what your settings is. So if you're a DM, you're like, okay, this is how this like city lives and breathes. You can't really see how it breathes via numbers and stats of like, oh, here's the Thieves Guild and they have 52 members and their highest ranking member is level 50 something. This is more of like just kind of like, hey, no, this is this campaign is like they mostly focus on like, hey, yeah, this person, he's a jerk. He's like ahead of the Thieves Guild and I hate him. I hate him so much. There's this one story that relates to him, and there's also a secret pathway that I know that nobody else knows. So it's kind of like giving that kind of like really intuitive storytelling ability. The book itself was released with no marketing. And only 2 weeks ahead of WotC's next major sourcebook release, Fizzbar's Treasury of the Dragons. The book is only available on PDF or print on demand for $35 or $15 for PDF. Print on demand for $35 for the softcover version, $45 for the hardcover version. But get this, all the proceeds benefit Extra Life, like basically, which raises money for children's hospitals. So if you want to get something that is awesome, whimsical, and great, just in world building sense, but also want to give to the kids. I think Emma, you wanted to go ahead and say something about these particular characters.
Oh, I just like that Boo, in case it wasn't clear from the conversation, is a miniature giant space hamster. And there was actually a magic card that came out in the recent Forgotten Realms set that's Minsc, Beloved Ranger. And of course, when you play Minsc, you create a legendary hamster character, which is Boo, and it does some other stuff as well, which is cool. But it's a hamster and it's really cute, and everyone really appreciates that. And it becomes, you can activate the ability on Minsc to make Boo the creature type giant. So yeah, lots of fun flavor stuff there.
Can I put on my tinfoil hat for
Please,
quickly?
do it.
Do it.
Is anybody else suspicioso, which means suspicious, about why they're doing like a lot of Baldur's Gate, which is a very classic 90s, we're doing a lot of things that remind you of the history of these things. We've got the Treasury of Dragons. We're bringing back this kind of idea of Dungeons and Dragons. We're having this surprise book come out of nowhere, seemingly. It just feels like it's leading up to something. Maybe something big, maybe
50th anniversary
iteration, maybe another book, maybe another volume, number that comes after 5.
So
six or restart, rewind, revamp 1.0.
But there's a lot of stuff coming out about the redoings, the reimaginings, the legends, the lore.
No, you see, you need to do Windows release numbering. So it goes from version 5 to version 2022. This is like D&D 2022, and then we're going year numbers, and then we're going to do it yearly, and then we decide that that's a terrible idea, and then we go back to the other numbering system.
Let's learn nothing from the past.
D&D me, ooh, Millennium Edition.
I love these ideas. They're terrible. I love them.
Yeah.
After a year living under a communicable disease named after the year, that also confused everybody. No, it's not the 19th COVID-19 is named after the year, which just really confused everybody. I don't know about that, and I don't think I'm not rejecting it. I'm just saying we're gonna workshop
how
it.
about Pokemon? Like I don't know what, just like Sword and Shield, X and Y, blue and
Rubies.
red, just like where they even come up with these things. Oh, they could do 2 versions to face off against each other.
All the
D&D,
speculations.
Dungeon and Dragon edition, and this Dungeon edition and the Dragon
D&D
edition.
Dungeons and Dragons edition.
Just the dungeons.
No, there's the
and then just the
dungeon, and then
dragons.
just the dragons. You gotta get
Nothing
both.
but dungeons.
Yeah, no, I like all these speculations. I like them a lot, but I think we're still in the dark about all of this. But sometimes it's good to be in the dark, in the darkest of darks. Like, Isabel, what do you think? Do you think there's a world of darkness ahead of us of some sort?
I almost hate having to come in here and talk because this was such a good transition. World of Darkness presents its month of darkness. It is the annual spooky season, you guys. October is the best month of the year. Argue amongst yourselves, because I won't even entertain differing ideas about this. October is the greatest month. It's the one time of the year that I can shop for home decor, and it's the time of the year where everything it matches my aesthetic, and everything is cool, and the leaves are changing, and it's really nice outside, and you can slap on your flannel, and you can. It's just great. There's nothing wrong with October. Okay, it's the greatest month. Anyway, World of Darkness. Which if we're doing Vampire the Masquerade, come on, we're coming back. Vampire the Masquerade's coming back, you guys. They're doing like a month-long, almost like an advent calendar style thing, where like each day you can check the World of Darkness website and you can go on for something new that's revealed every single day. So that could be an event, that could be an activity, that could be a piece of artwork, could be a new news or something like that. It's just kind of like something that you can engage with every single day on the website all through the month of October, which I think is really cool. They're also doing this thing called Vamptober, which you might have seen these. They're really popular on Twitter and Instagram, but there are these things called Drawtobers, where like each month, or not each month, but each day, there's like a different prompt. And so there'll be like vampires, blood, mummies, and there's just like a different prompt for each day of October. They're doing their own style. They're calling it Vamptober, which means that every single day in October, there's a different Vampire the Masquerade style prompt. And you can use whatever medium that you want to for this. You can do art, you can do costumes, poetry, you can make your little TikTok videos. All you have to do is hashtag it with hashtag Vamptober. Get it, because vampires October. And just in case you're with me. And then what they'll do is they'll pick select people, they'll share it on their social media and also on the World of Darkness news stream, which I think is really, really cool. Also, what they're doing is they're doing a Storyteller's Vault. Well, they always do a Storyteller's Vault, which means that you can publish, like if you make up any kind of 5th edition stuff for Vampire the Masquerade, you can share it with other people. And so you can publish your own materials starting from October 15th, and they're getting you started with your own with your own kind of stuff that you can make up by yourself, and they're giving you some 5th edition layouts that you can use in order to start making up your own stuff. It also includes a lot of art, original art as well. I think over 100 plus pieces of original art. And so that you can start writing your own Vampire the Masquerade campaigns. You can start doing your own sexy vampire LARP lady who is a vampire by night and an accountant by day. I don't know. You can just do whatever you want.
Accountant.
So yeah, it's really cool. I think that this is really great. This is like coming out right before the release of their video game, and Vampire the Masquerade, you guys, it's back.
Vampires are back. All
Vampires
the things.
guys.
I mean,
it's cool how they're kind of working with the community and helping to provide assets and things.
Yeah.
Hopefully people get to retain the rights to the stuff that they're working on, but I know a lot of people are really inspired to, when they start creating or when they've been creating for a while, to create stuff within an existing universe. And a lot of people have gotten their start that way, you know, by building things for modding games, you know, working with existing properties and gone on to make really cool stuff, or just making more great content for people to be able to feed off of, if you will.
so delicious.
Like blood.
Vampires. Yes. No, I totally agree. And I think that it's really cool that they're, I mean, I don't know the legality about what you own and what they have the rights to and things like that. If you're interested in doing this, I would encourage you to look into those things before you submit to anything. Like before you submit any of your stuff to anybody, look into who owns the rights to that. But I do think it's cool that they allow you to do it through the official channels versus some other companies, which shall not be named, that completely shut you down if they find out that you've made any original content based off of their IP, and will sue you and will take you to court. Not naming any names. Nintendo. But yeah, I think that this is really, I mean, it's such a great thing to sort of celebrate, of course, Vampire the Masquerade in October. Come on, it's
Vamptober.
Vamptober. I don't know. It makes me feel like I need to really get into character with this, Isby, with this like vampire lore and information. Like, could you like, you know, tell me a little bit more? Like, how can I get into character if I really want to be a vampire with all this vampire lore?
Oh my goodness. I'm so proud of you. Well, Bonsai, I have some great news for you, because Vampire the Masquerade War of Ages is coming out, and this is the first official LARP book for Vampire the Masquerade. If you were like me in high school, you were really, really into feeling your feelings and writing poetry and wearing like flouncy shirts a lot and a lot of crushed velvet and drawing eyeliner around your eyes in the shape of an ankh. Maybe you were like me. Maybe you read the Sandman comics and took it way too serious. Like I did as a kid. And you would play Vampire the Masquerade in graveyards, which is totally disrespectful, but when you're 16 it's really cool. And you kind of did your own kind of LARP. You bought some fake fangs from Spencer's Gifts, and then you acted with your other friends like you were vampires. Well, now you can do it officially. Okay.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It was super lame when I was a teenager, but you know what? We did it, and now look at us. Totally cool. So this is a Kickstarter campaign. The Kickstarter is live until November 5th, and you can set up your live action role playing. I think that this is really interesting because of the fact that we have not been able to do LARPing for a very long time. And my guess, if I could guess, is that LARPing may see somewhat of a resurgence with things coming back into in-person play, that LARPing might become more popular because of the fact that people want to, one, be in person with each other again, and this whole like costume play, cosplay has become much more mainstream than it ever was before. These sort of in-person parties have become really popular. There's the Gory Ball. I don't know if you guys have seen that before. There's like an Edward Gorey style like gothic thing. There's the oh man, what's it called? The movie The Labyrinth. There's the Labyrinth
Oh yeah.
What?
I saw that. There was like a lot of people that went to that, and I was like, "Whoa, fancy costumes! I want to go."
Yeah. It's just fancy costumes, and everybody gets to be their own fantastical character. There's also that like LARPing, I just realized my Swiffer is in the back of this.
We don't
Don't
hear
look
it.
at
It's
that.
good.
So there's like that theme park in Utah. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And it's all like it's like a live action RPG.
Yeah, I heard about that. It's like I forgot what it's called. Oh, it's please
Guys know
chat,
what
help
it
us out. There's like a whole like full on immersive RPG thing.
Yeah. And you can go, and then like it's like a whole theme park where they give you quests, and you have to go, and like everybody's in character, and it's like this really cool thing. And I just think that it's becoming more and more popular as every single year goes by. I think it's in Utah. It's in a state that you would not even think that it would be in. Anyway,
Evermore Park?
Nevermore.
Nevermore. There, yeah, you got it.
Thank you, Emma. So yeah, I just think that LARPing is going to see kind of a resurgence. It's not as dorky as it used to be, and I think that it's become more and more mainstream and more cool. And the idea that you have this Vampire the Masquerade source book where you can guide yourself through it, I think is also really cool as well. So you can pledge $50. You can get a copy of the physical book that comes out next November 2022. You can also pledge $25. Sorry, I saw the pound sign, and pounds are not real money. 19 pounds, also known as $25 in real actual money, for the digital PDF version of it. This is the first live action role-playing book, which I think is really interesting because I feel like I've always known people that have LARPed Vampire the Masquerade. It's not that hard to LARP Vampire the Masquerade. We all read Anne Rice books. Also took those books a little bit too seriously as a kid too. So this is it's from By Night Studios. They are creators of other LARP scenarios, End of the Line, and they wrote another book called Vampire the Masquerade Anarch. And so I think that this is a really cool thing. And hopefully once everybody is vaccinated and everything is copacetic, we can all put on our Spencer's Gifts fangs that don't match the color of our teeth, our crushed velvet coats that we bought from Amazon, and head out to the local graveyard / also probably someone's living room.
I want to LARP. I never LARPed before.
Emma,
what kind of
LARP?
Yeah.
Look, remember we talked about this. I'm old, first of all, and I didn't even know that it existed. I went to school in a very rural place, and no one talked about it, or I was also very shy. Maybe they talked about it, but I went to like a writers convention one year, and they were LARPing there, and I'm like, wow, what is this? I don't know what's happening here, but it seems really cool. I always wanted to do it, but also like we talked about before the show, just nervousness around people in LARPing, and like being also just like, what do I even do? Like, is there classes for LARP? How would you even know how to get started? It feels like a thing that's tricky to get into if you've never done it before.
That's so true. First of all, you guys have to know this. Emma is an actual vampire, a daywalker. Emma looks so young, and Emma ages in reverse, like a reverse avocado. She's that Benjamin Buttons, reverse Benjamin Buttons. She only gets younger. And I would love, LARPing usually, it's just like D&D. It's like you have your characters, you can set up things, you can scenarios, you do your little research, here's my character, here's how they are. And it's if you know D&D, you can totally do LARPing. It's just you're not at a table.
You got to physically move around.
You're physically moving around. Emma, let's write your vampire character.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a whole list. We got to go get like these corn dogs, right? And then we'll hang out. Remember, we have the Korean corn dogs. We still owe each other corn dogs. And then we'll go watch a movie together.
Watch a movie.
This is all going to be so totally approved. Gen Con, you approve this, that we need this team building exercise. LARPing is a team building exercise. Yes. We have a guide for it now, approved budget wise. Yeah, totally. This is what we're going to do. We're going to get corn dogs, watch a movie, and then LARP as a team building exercise here at
I totally forgot that we said we were going to go see Dune together. Which comes out this month. Okay, we have to talk about that later. Okay. I can't wait. I can't wait for it to bankroll.
Dune it. Good one. No, I mean, there's just so much exciting things to get a hold of. And yes, if you're into vampires, go look up this stuff. We got to go get our fangs on. Get your fangs on. Get your fangs on.
That's the Will Smith rap that's in the beginning of the Blade movie.
Blade is still, I'm sorry, he's my favorite vampire, like half vampire. I know he's like the first, like, best vampire I ever.
Blade's your favorite?
Yeah, Blade's my favorite. He was like the first, like, other than of course Interview with a Vampire. I think that came out later. But yeah, Blade was like, that's the coolest vampire. I want to be that. I want to be Blade. I don't want to try skating up an ice hill, but I want to be Blade.
Okay, wait. I have to explain this. One of the best lines from Blade is when he's like, MFers are always trying to ice skate uphill. And there's so many one-liners in Blade that are just so good. What's my other favorite one from Blade? Chew on this, suckhead. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, there's just so many good things. And I really liked Blade growing up. That was like my one, like, of course, other than Jackie Chan, I was like, I love Jackie Chan. He was my first human crush.
Jackie Chan versus Blade. I would do that.
Ooh.
Just like those two going at it. There's like a misunderstanding. Jackie Chan, he's a detective from Hong Kong. He's investigating a bunch of murders. He encounters Blade. And then eventually they find out that they're on the same side, and then they would team up together. You guys,
all right,
write this.
Do it, Hollywood. Do it.
Isabella, you're the one with the connections. You got to make this happen.
Yeah, you got the connections. We can't.
We'll write the script and make it happen.
Yeah, gotta. Really I think we just need to make a lot of things happen, and like maybe unveil a lot of new projects that are coming out. Like, wait, hold on. That just reminded me of something that I heard on the internet. Just talking about unveiling new projects. So, hey, if you guys didn't know, Leader Games unveiled their new products. Leader Games, the designer of, Root and Oath reveals Arc, Collapse, and Conflict in the Void. Cole Worley, the designers behind Oath and Root, announced, like, basically on Twitter that his next game will be Arc. Basically, Root and Oath are all very like fantasy kind of base with fluffy creatures, but now we get more of a dark, gritty space game, but also with fluffy creatures. So remember, you always have to have fluffy creatures. That's the key to any game: fluffy creatures and or vegetables or fruits. That's another thing.
Fluffy creatures.
But yes, usually this is kind of like a little bit out of nowhere, because usually this creator has a like basic everyone should have a period of time where you just kind of like rest after you had a baby kind of like thing. Just imagine all the board games, but now he's just like, I actually decided double birth on this board game, because he was conceptualizing, like basically he thought of all of the Arc things while he was making Root, but couldn't fit the design and arc and story wise into it. So that's why he's like, I'm going to compile all this and then make Arc. And that thus he has a baby that was just with no period of rest time. There's actually a thing that is called when you don't, like, you have baby back to back, like, is that not a thing? Like,
I just trauma.
Like singing the Chili song, "Baby Chili back." Oh, sorry, baby back ribs.
Back.
No, never mind.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah, no, I just but it's just very exciting. It's gonna be a short campaign, 2 to 4 sessions, and it'll have building a very player driven narrative. and also incorporates the same artwork from Kyle Fern, like same artist that he's been working with for some time now. So it's just a lot of excitement to see. And I'm excited about all the things. But you want to know what else I'm excited about? I got a boss lady, and her name is Izzy. She's a boss lady. Got a lot of money and a floss lady. You go ahead and Izzy, boss, boss, boss lady.
Oh, you're on fire today, Monzai.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, that was so good. Please put that on the mixtape, please. So I've got a couple of bundles for you guys. The first one that I've got is the Cthulhu Hat Collection, starting at $6. This one is a really cool collection if you're a big fan of the Cthulhu mythos, if you're really big into the Cthulhu Hat tabletop role-playing game from Just Crunch Games. This one contains a couple of games that is going to be super cool for the spooky dark season if you kind of want to get into more of a, like spooky, maybe we get together, we lose our minds, I don't know, we stare into the never-ending horrors of cosmic space, having fun times with your friends. So this includes the Cthulhu Hat Core Book, Dark Brood, and Forgotten Duty, along with 3 Cthulhu Hack mini source books, starting at $6. This is a really cool thing for a bundle of holding, which, as you guys know, raises money for charity. And the charity that this one raises money for is called the Beechwood Cancer Care. They are a service which helps a lot of people who are dealing with cancer, not only people who are going through cancer treatment, but also their families as well, to provide resources, round-the-clock care, and this one directly impacts a lot of people who have had to go through the long-term effects of cancer care as well. So please consider, if you're not interested in Cthulhu at all, it doesn't really matter. You can still donate to the Beechwood Cancer Care at any time. Consider that as well if you don't want to stare into the cosmic black void abyss of madness and lose your mind, which, you should. It's a good time. The next one that we have is some Itch.io bundles. That's right. I pronounce it Itch.io. I do not care if you pronounce it itch.io. Okay, fight me about it. Actually, don't fight me, but I'm really sorry. So there's a couple that we have. We have the TTRPG Halloween Spooktacular, which is where you can buy 10 different games for only $20. This one ends in 23 days. It's regularly $138.66, which is cents in American dollars. I'm struggling with money today, you guys. You can save 85% by getting this bundle, and you get a whole bunch of really cool games. Bar the windows, bolt the doors. You can get Basic Witches, which is really cool. The Lichcraft one, which I have, and one that I'm really interested in, which is The Forest That Knows Your Name. These are all really cool. Check it out. You get 10 games for $20. You don't have to, don't even think about it. Okay, it's just such a great deal. The next one that we have is the TTRPG charity bundle. This one is a really cool one. It goes towards Afghan support. This one has a whole bunch of games from 37 creators. Regularly, you can buy 71 games for $20. Normally, you would be spending $270, which is a price save of 92%. And basically, what you get when you buy this huge bundle, I mean, I'm looking at all this stuff. Space Legs, Mastermind, Lost Order. There's just like a whole bunch of stuff in there. It gives you a little sampling of things. And what you can do is when you donate or when you contribute to this charity bundle, you can go towards helping Afghan people who need money. Marcus, please. And they give you money. donate to Afghan services so that they can help Afghani people get access to payment cards that they can use to fund their phones. They can't give money that goes directly to the banks because the banks are really unstable right now. They're blocking people from having access to their money, which is what happens a lot of the time in unstable governments, where if you donate directly to people's banks, the banks are a mess. So this gives money directly to phone cards so that they can call their loved ones, so that they can stay ahead of what's information of where they need to go, of information and things like that. And so this goes to a really good cause. And if you're not interested in any of those games whatsoever, you don't want to play any of those games, you can still just donate. Just find a worthy cause that you believe in. Think about the Afghani people who are really going through it. People in Syria right now, the trans people in the UK, trans people in America, people that are going to Ethiopia right now needs your help. There's a lot of different charities out there, okay? You don't need to buy games just to donate to charity. I just wanted to say that, okay? And that's it. I'm done bossing you around. It was more of a gentle request than bossing you, honestly.
Bossing you into charity. Charity, give now.
Everybody donate to charity, or else you're gonna work through the
bigger than
weekend.
yourselves.
You want to work through the 16-hour shifts for everybody who doesn't play games. Everybody who comes to the gets unpaid overtime.
But you know what now? Hear ye! It's now time to start the Kickstarter Regency. There's just a lot of, the Kickstarter Gen Con sphere and lore is just very, very complicated. We are also struggling power-wise. First, we were run by a queen, then we started a democracy, and then totalitarianism. Now we're back to a regency. It's, we're complicated, and that's okay, because we just want all the things and want to tell you about all the things, especially Izzy. Izzy, tell us about what is in the mist.
Ooh, there's a light in the mist, you guys. Light in the Mist is a brand new tarot puzzle tale, which I love the idea of a puzzle tale. This is another one. I really like games that are like not just kind of like the regular kind of things. And you guys know how much I love tarot. This one ends Tuesday, October 19th. So hop on it immediately. What it is that you get these really beautifully illustrated tarot card puzzle, like little card deck things. So you get the full arcana, the major and the minor. That's 78 cards. Am I right about that? 78 cards.
Yep, 78. In a tuck box.
And inside of each of the tarot cards is a puzzle that you can solve. So you have the choice of solving the puzzle that's inside of each individual card, or you can solve the greater puzzle that's inside of each of the decks. So you can look at a card, you can find the one that has the matching symbol, and you can solve the overarching puzzle that's inside of it. This is really cool because you can kind of figure out how you want to play the game for yourself. You can play it solo, or you can play it up to 4 people. You can solve the puzzle each individually, or you can do it all together and try to solve the major overarching puzzle. It's really beautiful. The art is really incredible. I think that this is a really cool idea of like how to take tarot and the kind of symbology and the art that's inside of each tarot and kind of flesh that out into the 4-dimensional space and make it a puzzle inside of art, and use all the different kinds of keywords and symbolism to build a story. Also, every time that you play the game, it can be a different interpretation in a different game. So once you solve the puzzles, you can play it again and you can get a whole different kind of story outside of this game, which is really, really, really cool. I love this. All you really need is a pencil and paper. If you need some help, if you get stuck, you might have to access the internet to help you with the little puzzles that are inside of it. But other than that, all you need is that big, beautiful cerebellum that you got up on your shoulders. So it comes with the standard edition. You have a game box, you have the 78 card tarot deck, and a tuck box. We love a tuck box. You get your instructions, your story booklet, You get a journal, and it's just like a really beautiful thing. And then for the collector's edition, which is beautiful, you get this handcrafted wooden box, which is beautiful. This velvet bag that you get as well. You get some prints from the art. The tower art looks incredible. It's just really, really beautiful. So check that out. You have got how many more days do this? Please don't make me do math.
10 days.
I'm spooky. 10 days to go for this one as well. So check it out. Should I go into the next?
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of queer that you didn't just jump right into it.
Oh, you are on fire! All right. With 4 days ago, ending Tuesday, October 12th, we mentioned this one before. We mentioned that it was before Gen Con. We mentioned that it was going to be starting, and then Gen Con happened. And so the hopefully you had the reminder set. But Queers, the RPG, is out, and you only have 4 more days to contribute to this one. You guys, just look at the art, please. Just do yourself a favor and just look at the art. If you're a big fan of like Sentai Warrior stuff like I am, if you're big into Ultraman or Power Rangers or any of that stuff, then you'll recognize this. Even like games like Persona, if you're into that, the art really reminds me of the Persona games. This is a Super Sentai role-playing game where you fight intolerance and prejudice with love, empathy, strength, style, and amazing superpowers, which is absolutely, I love it so much. Okay, so basically what happens is that there are people that are causing a lot of intolerance and a lot of hatred that's going on, and you're using your magical power, which is called the rainbow empathy, which I love, which is a magical force that's inside of all of us that encompasses the power of our empathy. And you're defeating your foes, not with violence, not with pain, but by tapping into their humanity, and you're defeating their ignorance and their prejudice, which I love this. It's just it's so kind, and it's so good, and the art is incredible. They also have their own theme song, which I love. The characters all look super, super cute. They're all mega, mega kawaii. Okay. And you can get so many cool things, including a plushie companion. You have the Q Factor dice, which is really cool. There's enamel pens, you can get action cards. There's also a manga that goes along, which kind of tells you the world in which all of these things are happening, so that you can learn more about all the things. This one is Fueled by the Apocalypse, so if you're familiar with that mechanic, and it has a wonderful, wonderful art by the creator Issa. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And it's just a really cool way of kind of tapping into queer fabulousness. You don't have to be queer also, by the way, to play this game, okay? You just have to be fabulous. You can be fabulous and straight, honey, okay? It happens very rarely, but I have seen it. And this game only has 4 more days left, so really tap into it. It looks fun. The art is amazing. Check out the theme song. I'm in love with it. Please check this game out and share it around, because there's only a few more days left. So
yes, go ahead, go share all things. And our last Kickstarter that we have today is called Mirthwind. It has about 23 days left to go, so it ends on Halloween. It's a persistent world asymmetric cooperative board game where you become pioneers of a whimsical fantasy world. It's 1 to 4 players, open-ended game. You take on the characters of the farmer, the woodsman, merchant, and crafter. All of you work together to build the sediment, explore the world, and learn from all of your experiences. And it's just like the world is just divided into discrete chunks that you're supposed to RPG and play. It's kind of like a legacy game, but it's very, very open-ended legacy game, and there's no like distinct like, oh, hey, this is how long you need to play for session 1, session 2, session 3 that a lot of board games you would kind of think. This is just like, if you feel like it's dramatic, like if you feel like your story ends at this point, that's where it ends. It just, yeah, make it feel natural versus forcing it into the box. It's very, very beautiful artwork. I like myself. It's kind of like if you ever really are into like Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing, and you want that kind of like exploration of a fantasy world while working together as all these like very handy, crafty folk, this is definitely the game for you. But to be sure, this is definitely an unconventional game, and it serves a very specific niche. I could see what niche it definitely serves. If you're like, I don't want to hurt anything, I just want to craft and explore in a fantasy realm with peace, love, and unity to all, but also really role play this woodworker or something. And if that sounds appealing to you, definitely go ahead and check it out. It's called Mythwind, if you guys want to know. Well, oh my goodness, folks, did you know that was our last Kickstarter? And that means that, unfortunately, TableTakes is over. But wait, before we cry and all hysterics and all that kind of stuff, we have actually a slew of other shows here on Gen Con TV. If you guys don't know, by the way, all the times that I am listing are all specific standard times, because we are West Coast, best coast. Sorry. Can't tell you guys any other way. But starting with Monday 6 p.m. board games with the Brothers Murph. Wednesday 10 a.m. Or sorry, let me go ahead. Board games with the Brothers Murphs. They're two brothers. They play board games. What says anything better like family and board games? Wednesday we got 10 a.m. This game gets dicey. It's two friends from completely different parts of the globe trying to play a board game via like Zoom calls and everything like that in a digital platform. What could go wrong? Do you think it'll be dicey? Maybe. And then, of course, Friday, TableTakes with us, Emma and Isabella and myself. And of course, all the God voice that is Marcus in the background. But yes, if you like this content, don't forget to follow and subscribe. If you miss our shows live here on Twitch, don't worry, wait 24 hours and it will be on YouTube. Also, if you want to go ahead and connect with other fellow Gen Conians, you can check out our official Discord. Thank you all for those who are in chat, viewing, watching, perusing, and being here. And also thank you, Emma, for bringing your sunshine, Isabella, bringing your winterly coolness into our stream, and also Marcus for being the great godly voice in the background. And thank you guys. You have a lovely, lovely day, and be prepared to catapult candy at children this Halloween. Social distancing. Bye.